Hi everybody, welcome back to the Hunting Factor. On this trip, I go to Wisconsin to do some scouting of my own, and I signed up for the Dan Infalt hunting workshop. So the first part of this video is going to be me scouting, and the other half is going to be the workshop. I really enjoyed the workshops. I believe it's going to help me in my success in the deer woods. Enjoyed talking with Dan and sharing stories with him. Dan is an expert on big buck bedding, and I can see why they call him the big buck serial killer. So watch and enjoy, and thank you. Welcome back to the Hunt Factor. I'm Tommy. Today is really exciting. I'm heading to Wisconsin to do some scouting, and I'm doing the Dan Infalt workshop. Super excited. I can't wait. Got a long drive ahead, but I'm ready for it. Let's go. Alright guys, made it to Wisconsin. This is my room. Nice little couch area here. TV. Your basic hotel room. But it's not bad. Bed looks pretty clean. Room looks clean. Doesn't smell. I'm happy. Yeah. But yeah, I got checked into my hotel early. It's like 10 after 11. I didn't bring a whole lot, so like I said, it's only 3 days. So I'm gonna get my stuff unpacked, situated, and probably do some scouting. Alright guys, I'm my first scouting trip in Wisconsin. Checking out a small piece. Not sure what to expect here. Just gonna kind of go back as far as I can. It's about 12:30 right now, so I figure I'll try to scout 2 areas today, and then 2 on Monday. Looks like this area's been dominant with bird hunters or rabbit hunters and whatnot, but I'll check it out. Never been out here, so I'm just gonna cruise the edges and see what kind of sign I can find, what kind of terrain there is here. Check back with you in a minute. Just walking out and I stumbled through that track right there. That was pretty big. Heading that way. Alright, let's keep looking. I was walking the edges. And I come into this marsh area here. You can see this big trail right there. There's a bed right here. Probably laid his back up against this. You can watch the top of that ridge right there. Anything coming down that ridge, he's gonna see it. I think I'm gonna go down this way a little bit. There's a trail that way. That's definitely a bed though. You can see his exit trail. I can see him get right in this bed. Yeah, I can see him exiting here, or over here, or even here. There's a pile of poop right there. It's definitely a bed that they recently used. not far from the access trail. I'm going to keep pushing in and further in here, see what else we find. There's got to be more beds in here. This could be in here too. Right here. Yep. There's the poop. Bed right here. This could be a doe bedding area. Haven't seen any rubs. Okay, so we got 2 beds here. Got a trail here. Well, I found a halfway decent rub. The first one out here. It's only about up to my thigh. There's some tine marks right here. So there's definitely a buck in here. There was. I was just about ready to give up on this place. Might have to just keep this area in mind when I come to hunt. I don't see any other ones, but that one is coming down off this point down into this edge of the thick marsh. And I'm sure there's beds in here too. So I'm just gonna, I've marked a few bedding areas in here, so I'm gonna keep this spot in mind and keep going. Check out some more of this area on my way out. Do a big circle. See what we find. Guys, scouting spot number 2. Found this trail out in this marsh. I'll try to get to this island out here. So I'm just gonna take my time, keep going along little by little. Someone's been out here. There's boot tracks in the snow. I don't know how long ago, but there's a big island back here, but I want to go to the tip of it and maybe over to the side over here. But started getting a little thicker with this red brush mixed in with the cattails, but I think that tells me that's a little more solid pieces of ground. I don't know. But we're going to keep pushing and see what we find. Whoa. That's a neat spot. Alright guys. Got in the middle of this marsh. Got a trail here. A bed right here. A trail going there and there. Right next to this tree. Oh yeah, that's definitely a bed. Could be a bed over there too. We're gonna keep pushing back. Made it across that marsh right there, you see. I'm on this island now. And I'm just sitting here resting for a minute. And I look over, there's a rub right here. And then there's one over there. One right there. And possibly another. And possibly another one down there. I did find some beds out there. I think I'm going to walk a little bit of the edge of this island. And then I'm going to work my way back, call it a day. But I'm definitely going to keep this spot in mind too. Definitely bucks here. Alright guys, I was just about ready to leave. Seeing all these, oh there's a rub right there. Good one too. Seeing all these rubs on this edge of this island. And noticing there's a lot of oak trees right here. Which is good. And then I saw this. This big scrape. I almost want to put a camera here, but I didn't bring one with me. But there's a scrape here. And look at it, the trails are coming from every which way. There's a rub right there. There's a trail there. Trail here. Trail there. Look at this trail. Look at these tracks. There's a lot of deer in here. A lot more than what it seems. Trail right there. Yeah. Definitely gonna have to keep this in mind, this spot too. I could hunt right up in one of those oak trees and just watch this edge. But yeah, so far that's two spots I found that I think are this spot I really think is good. Look at these tracks. Look how big that one is. That's a good one there too. Yeah, that's a real big buck right there. He's standing right like this. There it is again. Yep. This would be definitely worth sitting. I'm betting that there's more beds back in that area there. All right, well, I'm gonna start heading back through the marsh. Hopefully I can make it back before it gets dark. I recently attended the scouting workshops with Dan Infalt in Wisconsin. We all meet at the designated area, and Dan walks us through areas that he's hunted in the past. He explains how he scouts and what areas we will be covering.
It's a big, vast area, but we're going to cover most of the bedding for big bucks.
We all walked single file down the deer trails to the first spot, the spot where Dan shot the famous Rome Legend buck. Dan explains the spot and how it lays out and how it's changed over the years. He shows where the bucks bed in relation to the spot. Dan explains how this spot is overlooked and how some hunters get locked into only hunting one way.
What I've noticed over the years is it's real easy to get locked in and believe something happens a certain way and like always hunt based on they're out there.
Dan will answer any question you may have. No question will go unanswered.
Anybody got any questions?
Dan explains how he accesses the spot and when he hunts it, how often, and on what winds.
So I have to get some sort of off. Another thing that's important too is I wouldn't hunt a spot like this every year, or multiple times in a year. I hunt like once or twice, because if you have a good spot like this, you burn it out. What you find out is these deer live here at certain peak time periods.
Dan explains how to look at the deer sign and determine when it was made.
That is one of the clues to that is when the rubs are ripped up in here. Any place you see heavy rubs ripped up around the bedding, well, they rub around rut. So that can kind of give you a clue to when they're bedding there.
As Dan walks us through, he explains how most hunters will gravitate to a certain area.
There's acorns all over the place. Why are you choosing this spot?
He explains how some hunters will see the sign and hunt right on top of the sign.
The rub line coming out and go, wow, I got it made. Then they come the next year to hunt because they scouted it. Dan talks about doing the detective work and how a hunter can determine the best times to hunt. You got to kind of start looking at these bedding areas when you see them as to why are they bedding there. You know, when are they coming through? What are they doing? You're going to be more successful. Each spot that Dan brings us to, he breaks it down to how and when he's going to hunt them. At the end of the walkthrough, we sit down in a large circle
and share what we've learned during the workshop. It was quite the experience seeing how Dan scouts, sets up on deer beds, and hunts. I really enjoyed it there. I encourage anyone who is a serious whitetail hunter to go to one of Dan's workshops. It's very informative, very interesting, and a great time. For more information on the workshops, go to thehuntingbeast.com.